Prologue: The Family in the Walls, Maple Creek, California, October 1984. The house learns the song. The rain started before sundown and never really stopped after that. It just changed moods. Sometimes it tapped softly against the roof like fingertips drumming on a church pew. Sometimes it came down hard enough to shake the gutters loose and make the old house groan in its bones. By midnight, the whole neighborhood smelled like soaked wood, chimney smoke, wet dirt, and pine rot drifting through the dark. Inside the house on Ash Street, Denise Reed sat cross-legged at the edge of her son's bed with one hand rubbing circles across his chest, while the other held a damp rag already gone lukewarm. Eli coughed again. Too hard, too deep. The kind of cough that sounded alive. Like something inside him had claws. Denise winced before he did. Easy, baby, easy now. The boy curled tighter beneath the blanket. 8 years old and shrinking by the week. Sweat glistened across his forehead beneath little braids mashed flat from sleep. His SpongeBob shirt hung loose around his shoulders now. The humidifier beside the bed rattled like it had asthma too. Medicine bottles crowded the nightstand beside a half-empty bottle of children's cough syrup, folded pharmacy receipts, and a spoon-stained purple from dried medicine. The room permanently smelled like Vicks Vapor Rub, warm plastic, and sickness. Not fresh sickness, long sickness. The kind families started organizing their lives around. Eli swallowed painfully. Mama, I'm right here. My chest hurt. I know. Another coughing fit bent him forward hard enough to shake the mattress. Wet this time. Denise grabbed the rag before it splattered onto the blanket. Tiny streaks of red. Not bright red. Old red, rust-colored. Her thumb rubbed against the rag automatically while she folded it inward before he noticed. Outside, thunder rolled somewhere deep beyond the trees. This whole town sounded far away when it rained. Even the cars moved quieter here. Maple Creek had that kind of silence. Not peaceful silence. Listening silence. Denise reached over and turned the box fan toward the corner mold blooming near the ceiling. Black fuzz spread along the wallpaper seams in branching veins. The landlord swore somebody would come fix it next week. He'd been saying next week for 3 months. The wallpaper behind Eli's bed had started peeling 2 weeks ago. Now it looked swollen, wet, like the wall had skin underneath it. Denise looked away from it automatically. You want the song? Eli nodded weakly beneath the blanket. She smiled despite herself. Boy, you know you're too old for lullabies. You still sing 'em ugly. That got a tiny laugh out of her. There go my handsome comedian. Denise cleared her throat softly and began humming low enough to feel more than hear. Old church melody. No words, just vibration. Something her grandmother used to hum shelling peas on hot Louisiana afternoons, while gospel music floated through screen doors and cicadas screamed in the heat. Eli's breathing slowly loosened beneath her hand. That always scared her a little. How fast the humming worked. Not medicine, not breathing treatments, not hospitals, just the song. Rain tapped harder against the window. Somewhere downstairs, pipes groaned inside the walls. Old house sounds. That's all. Denise kept humming. Eli's eyelids drooped lower. Then, something hummed back. Soft, faint enough she almost missed it. Her voice stopped. The second hum continued another 2 seconds longer. Denise frowned slowly. The sound came through the vent near the dresser. Low, broken, almost human. Like somebody farther inside the wall trying to follow the melody note by note. Eli opened one eye. You heard it? Denise forced a smile too quickly. Heard what? The lady. Thunder cracked overhead hard enough to shake the windows. The vent went silent. Denise stared at it anyway. Eli rolled onto his side slowly, exhausted. She sing prettier than you. Ain't nobody sing prettier than me. Stop lying on your mama. That tiny smile again. Then another cough wrecked it. Denise held him until it passed. By the time his breathing settled into sleep, her own nerves felt scraped raw. She stayed sitting there longer than she needed to, watching the vent, watching the wallpaper, watching rainwater crawl slowly down the glass. The mold near the ceiling looked bigger tonight. She could have sworn it hadn't reached the curtain rod before. And the room felt warmer now. Not heater warm, body warm. Like somebody else had been sitting there a while. Downstairs, the television laughed loudly for a second before snapping into static. Then Marlon yelled, Naomi, a pause. I know your ass hear me. Naomi yelled back instantly. I'm in the bathroom! Well, stop living in there damn near paying rent. Dad, shut up. Denise smiled despite herself. Normal noise. Good noise. Human noise. The kind that kept a house from feeling empty. She kissed Eli's forehead carefully before standing. The bedroom floor creaked beneath her feet. When she reached the doorway, she looked back one last time. Eli slept facing the wall now. The wallpaper behind him bulged outward slightly, like something pressing gently from the other side. Denise froze. The shape disappeared. Just wet wallpaper again. She stared another few seconds before stepping into the hallway. The hallway smelled damp tonight. Not just mildew, Something earthier, like wet soil packed too long in darkness. Rainwater stains spread across the ceiling in branching yellow shapes. The floorboards beneath the hallway runner rug had started warping upward from moisture. Tiny black insects clustered near the vent by the stairs, twitching their wings against the metal grate. The old house groaned around her, wood settling, pipes ticking, rain chewing steadily at the roof. Normal, everything normal. Downstairs, Marlon sat at the kitchen table in a white tank top and grease-stained work jeans with an open toolbox beside him. Bills spread beneath the weak yellow overhead light. His forehead glistened with sweat. The AC quit 2 weeks ago. The landlord blamed electrical complications. Marlon blamed lazy white men charging too much for broken shit. Same argument every night. Naomi stood barefoot at the counter eating dry cinnamon toast crunch straight from the box while avoiding looking toward Eli's room upstairs every time he coughed. Girl, get a bowl. Why? It's going to the same place. You gon' catch your ass the same place ass whoopin' too. Naomi rolled her eyes dramatically. See, this why I'm moving out at 18. With what money? With not yours money. Marlon cracked his knuckles hard enough to pop twice before glancing toward Denise. He sleep? For now. Marlon nodded slowly. Neither of them said the rest out loud. For now. That phrase had become their whole life lately. For now he breathing okay. For now he ain't bleeding bad. For now the medicine working. For now the hospital saying wait. For now. Denise moved toward the sink. Something squished beneath her sock. She looked down. Water. A thin stream leaked slowly from beneath the wall near the refrigerator. The hell? Marlon groaned immediately. I swear to God if another damn pipe burst. He crouched beside the leak. The water wasn't clear. Dark streaks swirled through it. Not thick enough to be blood, not thin enough to be rust. Marlon touched it carefully. Slimy. His face tightened instantly. That ain't right. Naomi backed away first. Oh, hell no. The leak suddenly stopped. All three of them stared. Silence settled over the kitchen. And instinctively, they all started talking louder. So tomorrow I'm calling that landlord again, Denise said quickly. He ain't coming, Marlon muttered. I don't care. He'd better care if he won his damn rent. Naomi kept talking too fast. This whole place smelled like wet cereal. Nobody acknowledged why they were talking. The silence in the house felt too heavy now. Then, from somewhere deep inside the walls, came faint humming. Not Denise this time. Not Eli. Something else. Low, broken, almost breathing between notes. Naomi's face lost color first. Mama! Nobody moved. The humming drifted slowly through the house. Room to room, inside the walls. Then the lights flickered once. Twice. Darkness swallowed the kitchen whole. Naomi cursed instantly. Marlon smacked the table. Damn it. Rain hammered the roof harder now. The refrigerator clicked dead. The entire house settled into blackness. And in that dark, the humming got louder. The light stayed dead for almost an hour. Long enough for the house to start sounding different. Without the refrigerator humming, without the television talking, without the box fan rattling upstairs, the place sounded wet. That was the only way Naomi could explain it later. Wet, not dripping, breathing. Rain hammered the roof while Marlon dug through the junk drawer for candles, and Denise kept glancing toward the ceiling every few seconds like she expected Eli's coughing to stop completely. That scared her more than hearing it. Silence meant checking. Always checking. Marlon finally found a lighter buried beneath unpaid electric bills and old takeout menus. About damn time. The candle flared weak orange against the kitchen walls. The flame bent slightly toward the hallway, like something farther inside the house had inhaled. Nobody mentioned it. Naomi hugged herself near the counter. You think the whole block power out? Probably transformer, Marlon muttered. Rain been beating everybody ass tonight. The humming came again. Closer this time. Low, dragging, not a melody anymore. More like somebody trying to remember one. Denise spoke too fast. I'm gonna check on Eli. I got it, Marlon said immediately. No, you've been at work all day. I said I got it. His voice came out sharper than he meant. Silence dropped across the kitchen again. Naomi looked at the floor automatically. Marlon sighed hard through his nose. My bad. Denise nodded once. No energy left for fighting. Not tonight. Marlon grabbed the candle and headed toward the stairs. The old wood creaked beneath his weight. The hallway upstairs looked longer in candlelight. Shadows stretched wrong against the walls. The wallpaper flowers looked darker too. Their faded yellow petals curled inward at the edges now like dead skin peeling after a burn. Halfway down the hallway, Marlon stopped. The air was warmer up here, not normal heat, dense heat, like crowded room heat, the kind that carried breath inside it. Eli's coughing had stopped. That alone made Marlon move faster. Eli? No answer. The candle flame twitched violently. Marlon pushed open the bedroom door. Eli slept curled beneath the blanket, breathing slow but steady. Too steady. For the first time in weeks, his chest wasn't rattling. The room felt calm, comfortably warm, almost peaceful. Marlon frowned slowly. The humidifier had stopped completely, still unplugged from the outage. Yet faint mist drifted through the room anyway, thin white vapor curling along the floorboards. Marlon stepped closer to the bed carefully. Eli slept deeper than usual. No coughing, no wheezing, no painful swallowing. Just sleep, good sleep. The kind Denise cried over missing. Marlon touched the boy's forehead. Cool, no fever. For a second, relief hit him so hard his knees almost weakened. Then something moved behind the wallpaper, tiny, quick, like fingers slowly dragging beneath fabric. Marlon jerked backward instantly. The wall went still. Rain tapped against the windows. The candle crackled softly. Nothing else. Marlon stared another few seconds before forcing himself to breathe normally. Old house, bad insulation. Rats maybe, that's all. His eyes drifted lower. The wallpaper near Eli's bed looked wetter tonight. The faded rabbits printed across it seemed stretched somehow. Their tiny black eyes looked shinier in the candlelight. One rabbit appeared slightly taller than the others now. Marlon blinked hard. Normal again. His knuckles popped loudly when he clenched his fist. Dad? Marlon nearly dropped the candle. Eli stared at him sleepily from the bed. You okay? Yeah, Marlon said too fast. You breathing better? Eli nodded slowly. She helped. Cold slid carefully down Marlon's spine. Who? The lady in the wall. Thunder shook the windows hard enough to rattle the glass. The humming came again, right beside them this time. Not from the vent. Inside the wall. Marlon slowly turned his head toward the wallpaper. The candle flame bent toward it. The wall bulged outward gently, then relaxed, like something breathing behind it. Eli smiled weakly beneath the blanket. She sing when you leave. Marlon backed away from the wall slowly. No more scary movies for you. She don't like when people yell. What? Eli's eyes drifted shut again. The house get cold when people mad. Marlon stood completely still. Downstairs, Naomi laughed loudly at something Denise said. Too loudly. Like both of them needed the noise. The wall creaked softly beside the bed. Marlon stared at it another few seconds before turning away. On the dresser sat framed hospital photos. Eli hooked to machines. Denise trying to smile. Naomi pretending not to cry. Marlon exhausted beyond language. The family looked tired in every picture, like life had been chewing them slowly for years. The candlelight flickered again. Marlon looked toward the closet. The door stood slightly open now. He could have sworn it had been shut before. Inside the darkness, something pale hung between the clothes. Too round to be a shirt, too still to be a shadow. Marlon stepped closer carefully. The humming stopped completely. The closet smelled damp. Not mildew, earth, wet earth. His hand tightened around the candle. Then Eli coughed violently behind him. Marlon spun immediately. The coughing sounded worse again. Wet, choking, desperate. By the time he turned back, the closet looked normal. Just clothes, just darkness, just exhaustion messing with him. That's all. That had to be all. Downstairs, Denise rubbed vapor rub across her palms while Naomi sat at the table peeling dead skin from around her thumbnail. You think he okay? Naomi asked quietly. He's sleeping. That ain't what I asked. Denise looked toward the ceiling. Rainwater stains spread slowly above the kitchen light in branching yellow patterns. For a second, they almost resembled roots. Then lightning flashed outside and the shapes disappeared again. He breathing easier tonight. Naomi frowned. That weird? No, too fast. Too defensive. Naomi noticed anyway. You think this house messing with him? Don't start. I'm serious. Naomi. The walls be making noise. Old houses make noise. The hallway smell weird. Mold. The mold moving. Denise stopped rubbing her hands. Silence settled over the kitchen again. Then, very softly, came the sound of Eli humming upstairs. Naomi looked toward the ceiling immediately. That him? Denise listened carefully. The humming sounded lower than Eli's voice. Older somehow. Like multiple people trying to hum together through water. Then another voice joined it. Then another. Denise stood slowly from the table. Marlon? No answer upstairs. Only humming. The wallpaper beside the refrigerator shifted slightly. Just once, like somebody leaning against the other side. Naomi saw it too. Both of them froze. The wall settled. Stillness again. Then from upstairs, Marlon yelled. Not loud. Not screaming. Worse. The kind of scared yell people make before they understand what they saw. Marlon's yell hit the house wrong. Not loud enough to sound like danger. Not sharp enough to sound angry. It sounded confused. Like a man whose brain saw something his body refused to understand. Denise was already moving before the sound fully finished echoing downstairs. Marlon? Naomi shoved away from the table hard enough to knock over the cereal box. The kitchen chair legs scraped violently across the floor. Upstairs, something thudded, heavy, then silence again. The kind that made the whole house feel taller. Denise took the stairs two at a time. Marlon! No answer, only rain hammering the roof. The hallway upstairs looked darker now, longer too. The candlelight from Eli's room flickered weak gold across the walls, stretching shadows thin and crooked along the wallpaper. Denise slowed. The air up here felt wrong, warm, wet, like breathing inside somebody else's mouth. Marlon, the bedroom door stood open. Eli sat upright in bed, humming softly to himself. Still half asleep, still calm. Marlon stood frozen beside the closet, holding the candle so tightly, wax spilled across his knuckles unnoticed. He didn't look at Denise when she entered, just stared at the wall beside Eli's bed. Denise followed his gaze. At first she saw nothing. Then the wallpaper moved. Not peeling, not shifting, moving. A slow ripple passed beneath the faded floral paper like something turning over in its sleep. Denise stopped breathing. The bulge pushed outward again, human-sized this time. Naomi appeared behind them in the doorway.
What the fuck?
"Watch your mouth," Denise snapped automatically. Then the wallpaper pressed outward harder. A face shape appeared briefly beneath the paper, not fully detailed. Just nose, forehead, mouth. Like somebody trapped inside wet fabric trying to breathe through it. Naomi stumbled backward instantly. "Oh, hell nah." Marlon finally spoke without looking away from the wall. "There's somebody in there." The wallpaper relaxed slowly, flat again. The room went still except for Eli humming softly beneath the blanket. Then the wall knocked back. 3 slow knocks. From inside, nobody moved. Denise grabbed Eli immediately. "We leaving?" Marlon still stared at the wall. "We leaving right now." Another knock answered, closer this time. Then another wall farther down the room answered too. Knock, knock, knock. The sound spread through the house. Inside the walls, not rats, not pipes. Rhythm, communication. Naomi started crying without realizing it. Tiny, terrified sounds caught in her throat while she backed farther into the hallway. The wallpaper beside the bedroom door bulged outward suddenly. A child-sized shape pressed beneath it. Small hands, tiny fingers spreading desperately against the paper. Denise screamed. The handprint vanished instantly. Eli stopped humming. Silence swallowed the room whole. Then he whispered, "They can't get out." The closet door creaked wider, slowly, carefully. Darkness sat thick inside it. The smell rolled out first. Wet dirt, mildew, something sweet underneath, rotting flowers. Marlon stepped backward finally. His face had gone pale gray beneath the candlelight. The wall beside the closet shivered violently. Then, fingernails dragged slowly beneath the wallpaper. A long scraping sound. Naomi covered her ears instantly.
Oh my god, oh my god!
The wallpaper near Eli's bed split open slightly. Not torn, parted, like lips separating. Something pale moved inside the gap. An eye, human, blinking wetly in darkness. Denise snatched Eli from the bed so fast the blanket hit the floor. The second she pulled him away, the entire wall exhaled. A deep, wet sound rolled through the room. The temperature dropped instantly. The warmth disappeared. And for the first time all night, Eli started coughing again. Violently. Blood sprayed across Denise's shoulder. "Mama, I got you, baby, I got you." The humming returned immediately. Louder now, not one voice anymore. Dozens, men, women, children, all humming the same lullaby through the walls. The floorboards beneath them vibrated faintly. The entire house was humming now. Marlon grabbed Naomi's arm. "Go!" They ran. Down the hallway, down the stairs. The walls creaked around them like old bones shifting underground. Every framed picture tilted sideways as they passed. The kitchen light flickered back on by itself. Yellow, weak light flooded the room. The leak near the refrigerator had spread halfway across the floor now. Dark water pulsed slowly from beneath the wall. Not leaking anymore. Breathing. The front door wouldn't open. Marlon slammed into it hard. "Move!" The knob twisted uselessly. Something sticky clung inside the frame. Tape. Gray duct tape stretched across the edges of the doorway like veins. "What the fuck is this?" Naomi started sobbing openly now. The humming vibrated louder through the walls. The wallpaper near the staircase bulged outward again. Multiple shapes moving beneath it now. Faces. Too many faces. Flattened. Watching. One of them pressed outward farther than the others. A little boy, eyes wide, mouth stretched open silently. Eli coughed harder in Denise's arms. Then suddenly, he stopped, completely. The entire house went quiet with him. No rain, no humming, no pipes, nothing. Marlon turned slowly. Eli stared toward the ceiling, smiling weakly. "She here." The lights exploded. Glass burst across the kitchen. Naomi screamed, and upstairs, something huge moved inside the walls. Not human movement, not footsteps, bigger. The whole second floor groaned inward like enormous weight shifted behind the wallpaper. Dust rained from the ceiling. The humming returned all at once, deafening now. The walls pulsed visibly. Inhaling, exhaling, then the voice came. Soft, right beside Marlon's ear. A woman humming gently through a smile. Marlon spun violently. Nobody there, but the wallpaper behind him bulged outward slowly, forming the outline of a woman cradling a child. Denise started praying under her breath. Naomi couldn't stop crying. The front door finally cracked open on its own. Cold rain air rushed inside. Nobody waited. They ran into the storm barefoot and half-dressed while the house hummed behind them in the dark. Naomi slipped hard in the mud at the curb and looked back first. The upstairs bedroom window glowed faint yellow through the rain. Figures stood inside it. Marlon, Denise, Naomi, and Eli. Perfectly still, watching from the second floor. Naomi's breath caught. Her father yanked her upright before she could speak. By the time they looked again, the window was empty. Only darkness remained. Rain swallowed the house slowly behind them as they ran down Ash Street. And somewhere inside the walls, the humming continued.